Hello and welcome to the special podcast of AWCSG. In today's episode, we are going to cover all the special bonus points that this tournament is introducing. Without further ado, let me introduce my panel here. I have Shiva, who is our chief scorer of this particular edition of AWCSG. Shiva, welcome to the podcast show.
Thank you. Pleasure.
All right. A gentleman who never needs any introduction. He has been there for the few podcasts. Our chairman of coaches, Coach CD. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, GK sir. Thank you for having me over. And always a pleasure to see you and Shiva sir whenever you two gentlemen are there.
Thank you, Coach.
I know we are attempting a few special rules for this tournament, AWCHG's inaugural tournament in Orlando. First of all, what are these special rules and what it does to the game?
I think that's a great segue into this particular podcast, GK sir. When I received a call from Amir sir and he wanted to have a chat with me about this tournament, the tournament structure itself was unique, number one. Number two, he said, why don't we look at, the best practices happening at the Women's Premier League in India, the Big Bash League in Australia, or the Fairbanks Trophy in Dubai, and see if we could take the best out of all of them and also include the challenges that are faced by our women cricketers when they go and play out internationally and come up with certain rules and regulations that would prepare them when they go out and represent the national team to be better armed. So that was the context or the pretext to what actually started out all these rules. So having taken it from there, so I thought, okay, now this game is such that it's divided primarily into three phases: your power phase, your middle overs, and your slog phase. And if we, as the tournament or as an org, can prepare our girls to handle each phase differently by incentivizing them for, bowling points, batting points, fielding points in each particular phase, getting them to think small, execute the small wins so they add up to the large wins in the end, and give them certain bonus points for that was the pretext of it. And that's what helped us formulate these rules.
Thank you, CD sir. Now let me post a question to Shiva here. I know it is not straightforward because none of the scoring platforms is going to give to make these bonus points make it available easy. How do you plan on addressing these bonus points, Shiva, during the tournament?
Thank you, Ganesh. Thank you, Coach CD sir, for explaining the uniqueness and the reason you are putting this. When I look at the point system, you are really giving the opportunity to get a bonus points on the batting side, on the fielding side, and also bowling side. Some of the rules you will be explaining clearly tells the batters can be a very aggressor and get a bonus points, and then the bowlers can be a consistent bowlers and give a bonus points to them. And also the fielding team itself can create a runouts and give a bonus points. So all these bonus points is really good, but unfortunately none of the platforms we use and on online don't have an option to do this. So it is a good opportunity for some of the vendors around there to come up adding these options. So for this AWCSG tournament, we created a manual scoring sheet.
Wow.
Every single over, we are going to categorize them. Is it a power play one, middle phase, or a slog over, or if there is any special power play has been taken. And then for each of those cases, what is the dot ball scored, how many wickets been taken, any runouts happen, boundaries happen, all those things will be monitored individual overs, and then later, as per the rules suggested by the coaches, we will add the bonus points. Those bonus points need to be updated into the system at the end of the day, Ganesh.
Fantastic. Thanks for explaining, Shiva. Any vendors, the scoring platform are listening to this podcast, this may be a good time to update the software. As a layman, CD sir, if someone is trying to play this tournament for the first time, can you explain the bonus points?
Fantastic. Thank you for the opportunity, GK. So, generally in a T20 game, your power play is your first 6 overs. So, we have realized that there is all the strategy is based around your first 6 overs. There is nothing else done to ensure that teams are either saving batters or want to upgrade their scoring rates or things somewhere down the line. So what we have done is we have broken down this power play into two phases. One is the first four overs, which are mandatory, which have to be taken by the team, and the next two overs should be completed before the 18th over. Now, what is the reason for this? If a team is without loss, let us say in the first four overs they are about 50 without loss, they may choose to continue to accelerate and use the next two overs of the power play.
Hmm.
If they have lost a few wickets and they want to stabilize, they have that option to stabilize, and then let's say, okay, we've stabilized. Now from over number 15 and 16, we are going to take the optional two overs of power play and then give it. So it allows the teams to think strategy. It allows the batting team to use their pinch hitters or their power hitters at the right time, and and create pressure on the opposition. Now this is not only incentivizing the batting side. Now for the bowling side, for example, in the power play, most of the time we see bowlers are looking to defend. So what we do, we incentivize them with a bonus point. We
Uh-huh.
tell them that if you take a wicket in the power play, you get one bonus point. You take two wickets, you get two bonus points. But we've also restricted it to two bonus points per over in that particular for the thing. And somebody may take three, and the question may rise, why you have not given 3 points for three wickets in an over? Right? It's a very simple question.
Of course.
We are also promoting the batting side. The batsmen generally in the power play are the ones doing the risk taking. They are trying to go over the top. So we want to keep encouraging them to make use of that power play. We don't want to say that because you have lost a wicket, you withdraw and you stop playing. There are options for you. So even if you lose two wickets and you keep going and you lose another wicket, you're not giving a point to the batting side,
Got
right?
it.
And to incentivize the batting team, we have said if you score 9 runs and above in an over in the power play, you get one bonus point. And if you score 13 runs and above, you add the second bonus point to your team. So this is giving them the options. Now, if they're chasing and they want to get more bonus points, they've got, let us say, they've got nine of five balls.
Hmm.
They have the option of going for the boundary of the last ball to gain the second bonus point. Now, that's a risk reward situation which happens regularly in international cricket. You have to make a decision. You target a bowler, you target a target, and you go for it.
Wow.
My belief is that the more the players are used to doing this sort of a thing at the domestic level, the better they will be able to go out and execute when they go to the international level. So indirectly is we are creating them how to use the power play to your advantage. What are the ways for batsmen and bowlers by giving them bonus points, right? We come down to the what you call the middle overs as they're called. So the middle overs naturally the field is spread a little more, and you have boundary option hittings are reduced a bit. So we've reduced the number of runs over there in the middle overs. We say there if you can keep it going at 9 and over, right?
Yep.
And you will still get 1 point. And over there, if you can keep it going at 13 and over, again over there, you will still get another, you will get two bonus points. So directly and indirectly, we are incentivizing the batters to keep scoring runs, not look at individual scores. Now, how do we incentivize the bowlers and the fielding unit? Because I believe dot balls are a key to creating pressure.
Absolutely.
And both the bowler who bowls a good dot ball and the fielder who attacks that ball and stops the single being taken as a team are incentivized here. So for every 10 dot balls a bowling unit pulls off in that 120 balls, they add one bonus point to their thing. So, for example, if they've taken 10 wickets and they've had 20 dot balls, they end up the inning with already 12 points in their bag,
Correct.
right? The same way for batting team, now we've got to incentivize the batting team to score runs. If they have scored five boundaries, they get one bonus point. So for every five block that they keep adding, they keep adding a bonus point to them. So in a very simple way, which actually in principle is pretty simple, but the teams really have to think over to over. Don't let the game get too big ahead of them. And most importantly, I think the challenges are going to be primarily with the scorer. And we are so happy to have Shiva Garu here, who I know is a man who's always on the ball, on the money, on the job. Because the rules are being implemented first time. Like anything, a scorer is also under pressure not to miss a dot ball, to add the bonus point over there. But knowing Shiva Garu's there heading that thing, I am absolutely confident that it's going to be a brilliant implementation of the rules that we have had here.
Thank you, Siri sir. Shiva, now to you. How do you plan to attack or keep track of the scores?
Yes, Ganesh. Thank you, Coach City, for explaining the importance of these things, which is going to help the cricketers. So, on the bigger picture, doing this small work is nothing. So, I used AI to come up with certain way of doing the scoring without error free. I played around between ChatGPT and Gemini, and then came up with a better paper scoring sheet, and we have created in a way that it will be error free, and also it will be approved and signed by coaches and scorers at the official scorer who is scoring online at the end of the innings, and we will give the bonus points to every innings done. We know how many bonus points of the batting team got, how many bonus point the fielding team got after the end of the first innings, and then they have some idea already. Not only winning the game, they also need to catch up with the bonus points in the second innings for both the batting and fielding teams. So those data will be immediately available to the coaches and the captains to strategize the game in the second innings as well.
Very good, Shiva. For thanks for explaining this. Siri sir, if I see this set of rules that you have put together, I have not seen in any tournament these kind of rules being ever applied to. Like you said, you are incentivizing the risk takers because there is no risk, there is no reward, and this might probably be putting the batters to take the aerial route to score the runs or the bowlers to think in terms of wickets. Do you know of any of the tournaments that are using any of these bonus points?
To be very honest, none of the international tournaments are using the bonus points. But during my playing days, when Ranji Trophy used to be played, there used to be a bonus point system for X number of runs being scored way back in the day. And it used to incentivize teams to score X number of runs in particular overs. So, using that experience, using the rules that are being, for example, you can use a fielder for 1 over as a specialist fielder.
Mhm.
This rule is being used in the Big Bash League in Australia. So that's to incentivize your best fielder who goes in, a team is defending 10 of the last over. You want to have your best fielders on the thing for that 1 over. If there is somebody in the who's not playing in the 11 who's sitting out, they can come in without any rules and regulations. So basically, how do you use your good fielders in the right positions, right? So this is the rule we took from the Big Bash League. Now, for example, the impact player rule we took from the Women's Premier League. So we've taken the best practices of them. Okay. We've also added certain rules to this, like the bonus point rules that we've added. We've also added rules where a player, in case the teams want to give batting to somebody else or that they want to make a tactical change, you can retire a batsman. Let us say a batsman is scoring at or maybe 100 strike rate, 30 runs of 30 balls. They're doing well, but the captain wants to send in a pinch hitter because he wants to gain something. You can retire that batsman, and in the event of a wicket falling, you can send them back.
Got it.
So we are ensuring that the batter goes back into play, right? So this is ensuring that the everyone sitting out, people who are in the game, are all involved. There's nobody felt left out at any moment of time. Okay, and I think the whole concept of organizing or putting forth these rules, it took a lot of brainstorming, a little bit of back and forth, up and down, which I'm sure you would have had with forming a scoring sheet for that as well. But I think this is the way forward. You will soon find a lot of tournaments adopting these particular rules or modified versions of them, and it gives us an opportunity to be the front runners or the pioneers of this. And I'm sure once the girls adapted, they will be looking forward to playing more and more tournaments with these rules in hand.
I'm just so intrigued by how these things came into picture, and I like the way you are able to put the thought of run making in the heads of the batters. Already, T20 is a fast-paced cricket. Now, with all these rules in picture, I think the coaches and the captains are always on their feet to think and to see how they are able to. One more interesting notice is no team is ever out of the game with the bonus points. Am I right?
Absolutely, sir. You're spot on with that. You know, for example, if they have completed their power play by the 18th over in 19 and 20. If a team is able to not only, let us say they still need 50 runs in the last 2 overs, they may not be able to achieve the 50 But if they're able to score 13 runs and over, they've still added two bonus points. So ineffectively, when you add those two bonus points from the 10 which you get for a win, you have reduced two of their points there, which allows you to catch up in a round robin in the next game
That is true.
effectively, right? So no team is like, okay, you lost, you're totally out. 5 points or 10 points is given to them. They're always in the tournament, right? For that, the other rule that we have also put, which I have observed, luckily I have traveled with you, GK sir, for our women's team under 19s to Singapore and Malaysia. And I've also followed where our girls have had not completed their overs in the stipulated time on a couple of occasions, and they had to have an extra fielder in the ring, right?
That is
So to encourage the girls to run through the overs, change overs very quickly, we have made sure that your time cutoff time, you will have the fielder will come in for every over. If the scorer says your time is done and there are 2 overs remaining, for the next 2 overs they will feed with one less fielder outside. So there was a little bit of resistance to this, but in the larger picture of developing people who are going to play and represent USA in the future, I thought that we should stick to this rule as well.
I think it's a great thought process, looking at a holistic picture of how we want to progress the game. Shiva, your thoughts on these rules?
Yes, not only the individual overs, I think Coach CD and the coaches' rules also giving overall innings. If they scored 5 boundaries, they get one bonus points. If a bowler bowled 10 dot balls, or not a bowler, overall, bowling team bowled 10 dot balls, not in a continuous way, they get a bonus point. And they are also incentivizing the run out options. If there is any run out happens in an innings, there will be a bonus point as well. So I looking at all aspect, it is going to challenge the batters not to have the dot balls, look for the quick runs, but if you lose the run out, you will lose the point as well. So I think it is giving all kind of exposure and creativity to get the bonus points. As coach said, it's a risk versus reward situation. That is exactly what we needed in the modern day cricket. You take risk and then you go play aggressive cricket, consistent bowling, effort in the fielding. All these three I can see in this scoring bonus points. I can visualize myself from this. Amazing thought from coaching system.
Thank you, Shiva. It's a master stroke, sir, to give a point for fielders. Sometimes I always felt our scoreboard does not reward fielders as much as it should. I think it's a step in the right direction in your rule book. A run out is given an extra bonus point, which is going to ensure the fielders are going to take a good shot on the wickets to make sure that they are able to get a run out. Kudos to those thought process. So, anything else did we miss regarding the tournament rules, sir, with all the new things that you have put forward?
I'd say this would be an evolving system. There would be a few tinkerings here and there as we go forward based on conditions, the runs. We would see them on wickets where maybe we feel the outfield is not traveling. We may reduce the runs, we may increase it as we go forward. And to ensure that 11 and 14, I came up with this number after having a chat with Mr. Suresh and knowing that his outfield is pretty quick, the ball travels and stuff like that. So as I said, this will be an evolving rules, a little bit tinkering here and there with your bonus points and stuff like that. The only permanent resistance we always get to see is whenever there is a change in anything happening.
That's true.
But change is the way forward. So my simple advice to all the coaches and the administrators and also the players who are there. Once you adopt it wholeheartedly and you say this is the way we are going to play the game, we're going to go forward. Trust me, you're really going to enjoy it and you're going to come back with an enriching experience. So that's what I would like to end with.
Fantastic. Any closing thoughts, Shiva?
This is going to be exciting weekend coming ahead with this new bonus points. I am really excited to score this. I used to be a paper scorer in my very young age, but this is the new scoring system for the new bonus points. I'm really looking forward how our players and coaches going to use this tactically and come up with big colors.
Thank you, Shiva. Look at a person who paper scores has to consult Chat GPT and Gemini to come up with foolproof way to score the system that Coach CD has devised. For anyone who is watching, the tournament is happening this week in Florida, April 3rd to April 5th at the Orlando Cricket Ground. If you're anywhere near, don't forget to come and check the wonderful talent our country has. For folks who is following our podcast, Don't forget to subscribe for interesting updates. Have a good one. Thank you all.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much for having me as well.